At this time in history, women throughout the world are stepping forth as leaders and decision makers. With these new leadership roles, more and more women will have the opportunity to influence the world with their own unique feminine values and vision. The Women's Federation for World Peace is an organization of women working together to realize one global family rooted in a culture of sustainable peace. Answering the call to care for the human family, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon and her late husband,
Reverend
Reverend
Samhyang
Samyang
Moon
Moon,
founded the WFWP in 1992.
WFWP's service mission began by bringing the mother's heart of love to the world by focusing on the eradication of poverty. WFWP supports projects in areas such as AIDS education prevention, hygiene, and school development. To date, over 15,000 children have graduated from our schools. WFWP is one of the few organizations worldwide to receive the designation as an NGO and general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council at the United Nations.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. This is Ria Luz of Buhay Buhay sa America, and I'm so honored and grateful that I could.
Good morning.
Oops, sorry. Everybody. This is Ria Luz of Buhay Buhay. Sorry. I have an echo. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is Ria Luz once again at home, and I'm inviting my beautiful sisters all the way from the Women's Federation for World Peace and the Global Women's Peace Network as my co-host today. I would be so honored to invite my beautiful sister first, Miss Glenda Lambert, all the way from Global Women's Peace Network here in Arizona, and my beautiful mentor. Good morning, Glenda.
Good morning. How are you doing? I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. Look, we didn't even think of dressing up, but look, we are wearing the same color. And
definitely,
this broadcast would not be complete without another powerful woman. Our Women's Federation for World Peace West Coast Coordinator, our beloved Dr. Linda Nishikawa.
Hi, it's an honor to be here with both of you, and it's going to be a very exciting program today. So thank you.
Yes, I believe that too.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Linda, for joining us. And Glenn, I think we have chosen a very good topic. As Dr. Linda also prepared for this event, the golden age of women in politics. So I think before Dr. Linda shares why we choose this topic, would you be able to introduce the panel of guests that we have today?
Absolutely. We have an incredible women leaders here today with us. And it is an honor for me to really write and talk and also let you know about their bio. It's just amazing women. So the first, amazing woman that we have here is Honorary Joy Garrett, and I will share and read her bio for you. Representative Joy Garrett has served in the New Mexico House of Representatives since January 2019. A teacher for 28 years, she identifies improving education and addressing the needs of students and families as her top priority. Ongoing concern include making high-speed broadband accessible and affordable for all, modernizing the state legislature, implementing sensible firearm safety policies, expanding job and entrepreneurship opportunities, adequately funding law enforcement and first responders, and funding roads and healthcare. She is a founding member of the Bipartisan Women's Caucus in the state legislature. She will run for re-election in 2022 again. Representative Garrett has been a member of the Women's Federation since its founding in 1992. She and her husband, Dr. Dale Garrett, have been married for 39 years and are parents of one newly married adult son, Tejo. And I hope I said it right. Our other wonderful, exceptional, amazing woman is called by the name Christine Ellis. Our honorary Christine Ellis, she is the Chandler councilwoman of Arizona. And I also would like to read her bio. Christine Ellis is a strong, passionate woman of faith who chooses every day to engage with people through love and service. She has spent her adult life as a registered nurse and with a strong medical background and desire to care for others. Christine became a successful business owner of several assisted living homes in the East Valley. Following a major earthquake in Haiti, she co-founded the Haitian Disaster Relief of Arizona, where she collaborated with other organizations to help the earthquake victims of her native country. Christine moved to the United States at the age of 17, where she eventually met her husband, Jemjinin, whom she has been married to for over 30 years. They moved to Arizona, where they raised their two children, Sean and Talia. Christine has spent decades serving in the Chandler community. And in 2011, the Arizona Republic newspaper nominated her one of the top 10 most inspirable women in Arizona. Also, Christine received the Ambassador for Peace Award from the Women's Federation for World Peace USA. It is these wonderful attributes, a desire to serve and enrich the life of others, along with a keen ability to assess a situation and know what actions must be taken, that have led her to this moment. Christine brings with her an enthusiasm of service, a deep understanding of leadership, a commitment to her community, and a great love for all the people of Chandler. She has given great consideration to the ideas and values that will be her focus as a member of the Chandler City Council, which are higher education, enriching our neighborhoods, more free market solution, and embracing our collective diversity. These are these incredible bios of our Honorable Joy and Christine. And I hope we can call you by your first name.
Hey, we got
Awesome. That is just wonderful. So we're going to be just like we're sitting at the kitchen table, having a nice cup of coffee or a nice, wonderful cup of tea. And we're talking about all these incredible things that you ladies are doing right now in our communities. And I am so honored to be in this group to share with you and ask you some questions too. Thank you so much for this incredible biography that you have sent to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Glenn. I really appreciate that. We have some what do you call echo. Love how you presented their bio. Look like we already are so interested to hear from them. So that's why I think before we ask question, I'd like to ask also our sister, Dr. Linda Nishikawa, to share with us why we choose this topic, Golden Age of Women in Politics. But before that, do you want to hear our New Mexico State Representative Joy Garrett and our Honorable Christine Ellis say hello?
Oh, hi. Thank you so much for hosting this. And I see there's people from all over the world already on. And I just want to say every single person on this call makes a huge difference, because positive change and taking care of our families starts in the home and at the grassroots level. So thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you. How about our beautiful sister, Honorable Christine Ellis?
I am so honored to be here with you this morning. It is amazing what you're doing in our realm of, Arizona and this area. My heart goes out to everyone that are watching all over the world. We are at a precipice. I think there's a paradigm shift that is happening in the world right now. And women is at the cost of it to turn this ship around and make it go to the right direction. And I can't wait to see what else is going to be coming out. I'm sitting almost at the edge of my seat looking into the window where people see difficulties. They see we can't go no more. They see this world is a disarray. What I see is opportunities, places where we can charter where we have never been before. So I'm excited, and I'm really willing to really make sure that today that people hear that there is hope, and that we as women together and men, we can go forward and make this place definitely a better world.
Amen. Thank you so much, Honorable Christine Ellis. And I see our wonderful president all the way from Maryland, Miss President Angelica Selly, is greeting us, the Women's Federation for World Peace USA president. And so this is the time we would love to invite our beautiful sister, Dr. Linda Nishikawa, to tell us, how did we come up with this topic, Golden Age of Women in Politics? Oops, you're muted.
Yeah, you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Am I muted?
Yes, now you're okay. No, you're muted again. Unmute yourself, please. There.
Thank you so much for this program and for making it possible, and for the esteemed leaders who are here with us today. I know that they are in the positions because of their sacrifice and their love for their community and their state, and that's what it takes. But I love the idea that my dear co-host said, that let us just talk to each other with our first names around the kitchen table, drinking a cup of coffee. There's mine. And let's just really enjoy being women in politics. Yes, this is women's golden age in politics. After 100 years of getting the right to vote, we still had low levels of representation of women across all levels of government. And today it is quite the different face in government. I just want to say a little bit about the statistics that we are living with at today, because this is the golden age of politics for women. 27.6% of statewide elective positions, that's 80 out of 312, that's 86 total. In state legislators of the United States, we have 2,129 women out of 7,383 state legislators. That's 28.3%. And all the seats in the Congress held by women is 23.7%. We hold 127 seats of women in Congress today in the United States. So women's golden age in politics has arrived.
Awesome.
And that's why I think this is just one of a series, but this is the first one for Women's Global Women Peace Network and
Awesome.
Women's Federation for World Peace, representing Region 5, Region 4 collaborations. So I'm really excited to begin the comments and questions. If we have any right now, we could go for any questions that we have on the.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Linda, for bringing that statistics and the inspiration why this topic is brought about. So I think our Sister Glenda has already prepared some question. If our guests or our audience has not have any question yet, our Sister Glenda has a question that is itching to be asked.
Well, I have many questions, but I'm here to learn. I'm not an expert, and I'm not here with any party. I just want to know how these incredible women get up every morning and dress so beautifully and face their community, their world, and then come home and still taking care of a family. So I'm so intrigued by that. So my first question really is asking both of you, Christine and Joy, what do you think about this title? Women in the golden age. Do you think, does it resonate with you, or could you say that not really? But if you hear this title, the golden age of women in politics, can you tell me a little bit how you feel about that title?
I love the title because, and it's something across the political and social spectrum, women have to be at the table. If you look at the studies, and Christine probably knows more about this than me, they used to look at heart attacks, but they based the symptoms of a heart attack on men because men were the ones at the table. So whether it's politics, local, state, national, international government, medical boards, corporations, we have to have women at the table because they bring the concerns of the family. Pregnancy leave, breaks for nursing mothers. Those are just two teeny tiny things. But women we are holding up the whole world together as men and women. So if we don't have women making and contributing to the policy, we don't have this full spectrum of needs addressed. So I love the title.
Awesome.
The title is magnificent at this point in the space that we're living now. It is important that we realize as women that we do have a place at the table. Not only we have a place at the table, but we have a strong voice, and our voice no longer can be stifled. Our voice can no longer be told that you are not part of what's going on. Because we've seen in the few decades past, and you heard the statistics, when we were left outside of the decisions that we had to live with, whether it was about our children's education, where we were going to live, how we were going to live, how our tax dollars were going to be spent, where they're going to be spent, all of those things. When we were left out of those discussions, we see where we are right now. So moving forward, bringing us to the table with a different perspective, the idea that we have to put families first, the idea that for every girl that we educate, we take 90 people out of poverty.
Yes.
Women, we are so strong into pushing our children for education. And that's what's taking us out of poverty, is when we are educated. So women, I mean, everybody that I talk to, you looked at a football player, you look at everybody, when they talk about their mom, it's my mom who made me go to school. It's my mom who encouraged me. She was the one their dad was there. Yes, the dad was there. He's working really hard. He's bringing in, and some of them didn't even have fathers, but a strong mother, someone who has the heart for their children will always be able to sit at the table and bring great results. That's why I love this title of a golden.
Wow, that is wonderful.
Wow, that was powerful.
Powerful. Well, the title came from Linda.
Yes. You know what? I really do want everybody in the audience to right now type on your chat hashtag Women's Golden Age in Politics, because we need to get more women involved and listening on to these incredible answers. I want to ask the next answer to both of you, and that is, what inspired you to go into the political arena? Honorable Joy Garrett.
Oh, have Christine go first.
Okay. Sure.
We'll alternate taking them first.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it was literally, I really felt that it was a strong feeling from God, that this was my time and this was my turn, because I had been in my communities for years, and I think I'm stuck right now as far as, okay, I am back. And for years I have been in the community. We started many organizations helping people, and again, my business and all these things. But there is a place and there is a time when you feel that it's not enough. And I think at 2018, I was at that place where I felt that it was not enough. There is something more. I keep feeling an unction, something pushing me to go forward. And I did a 21-day fast. And within that fast, I felt that I was hearing strongly in my spirit that I needed to be the voice of a higher power. I needed to be the voice of God, the one that I serve, the one that is in my life. And when I kind of put my ears closer to that voice, and I heard that, well, this is where you needed to go. I'm like, not me, because I grew up into a family of politician. My grandfather held every position you can think of. My dad was a senator in Haiti. So I was running away from it with everything I got. So I wanted to go in nursing. I wanted to go everywhere else, and it caught up with me. So I had to surrender. And this is exactly what it was. And when you look at the way everything happened through the race, I ran the race for 2 years. And within those 2 years, it was miracle after miracle. People that came into my life, the places that how we were able to raise the fund to get there. And every moment that I felt that the Spirit of the Lord was just with me every single minute of the day until the last minute when they called the numbers and we were top vote getters. And here we were pushing through, knowing that we have an assignment, and our assignment is from a higher power, and it's not of us. It's not of what I believe, my education, my background, but it is something for me to be inspiring others to continue to get the quality of life up. That's all that's what got me into this.
And before I continue, I would like to I am a witness to our beautiful sister, Christine Ellis, that this is her first time to run, and yet she's on the top, #1 councilwoman-elect in the whole Chandler, Arizona during her run. And in fact, she is my councilwoman-elect here in and councilwoman here in Chandler, a city I am very proud to be a resident. And because of the leadership of people like Christine and the many leaders of Chandler, I am really a proud resident of Chandler here. So thank you so much, my beautiful sister, Honorable Christine Ellis. So, Glenn, do you have any? We have our
Yes.
New Mexico representative to answer the next question.
Well,
Go
same
for it,
question.
Joy.
I was actually inspired
Yes, go ahead.
when John F. Kennedy was elected. It was the first time I was old enough to understand anything about elections. And my family sat during his famous inaugural speech, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So that was the moment I thought, someday I want to be elected. But more recently, I'm the kind of person, my mother raised me to write and call every elected official about every issue on my mind. I kept calling my representative and he'd say, Joy, I got your back. I'm listening to you. I've got your back. Well, he didn't have my back. And so one day I had a showdown with God and I said, he doesn't have my back. I've got my back. I'm running. So that was my immediate push.
And New Mexico Representative Honorable Joy Garrett, we got someone all the way from New Mexico. Karina Jager is our New Mexico sister from New Mexico. Thank you, Karina, for joining us. And Jasmine Lambert, and also Miss Ethel Losario Smith, and our President Angelica Selly, and Pamela Gotanko Hap, all the way from Switzerland, and Hannah Moore are joining us. So, as our beautiful sister, Dr. Linda Nishikawa mentioned, please keep on sharing this broadcast and send us your questions. So that could also be added to the questions from this broadcast. Right, Dr. Linda?
Absolutely. And you know what? As a native from New Mexico, Pueblo and Junca Lakota, I am so proud of Joy. I am so proud of Joy. And I know that Laguna Pueblo, Deb Hanlon, and also Yvette Herlin, Cherokee, also representing New Mexico. We are all so very, very indebted and grateful to you for all the work that you've done with the First Nations people of New Mexico in trying to work with initiation of our indigenous language, our mother tongues, to be spoken again with freely, without any impunity, to speak very freely and joyfully, practicing our spirituality in our homes. So on behalf of my ancestry, I want to thank you, Honorable Joy Garrett, for all the work that you've done for First Nations people in New Mexico. And I know that you're also working right now with Sandia Pueblo, which was one of the 19 pueblos, correct? Is that?
Yeah, we have 23 pueblos and Native American nations, sovereign nations in our state. And we share the Navajo Nation with Utah and Arizona.
Right.
Absolutely. And I really love the fact that we share the Navajo Nation with you. I share it very personally because my brother was married to a Navajo, and I have 3 beautiful, gorgeous nieces. So I'm sharing it with you personally.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you.
We have so much things in common, other than just
Wow.
we're all women.
I love the collaboration, and all the it's so complimenting when I listen to you and I listen to Christine and Joy. They're so united in the same thing they're doing. If it's not maybe the legislation that you're doing, but that, at least there's some connection. I really like that these 2 ladies could maybe continue the collaboration, and see even make bigger stuff, Okay, my next question, because this is a good one. I don't know what your secret is. It has to start internally, okay, but something bigger than yourself. So now, if I have a young woman today here, Christine and Joy, and they want to follow your footsteps, what are a few things that you can give them to put in their toolkits so that they can know what to do? Okay, they love to be a public servant person too, and they love to maybe be also in one of those public jobs and everything else. So what do you think you can do to give them that kind of first steps or kind of tools, resources that a young man or a young woman can follow through?
That's such an important question. I invite high school students and college students to intern with me. Some people may want to do it on the political or campaign side, and some people do it on the side of working in the legislature. In our legislature, we have no paid staff, and we only get a stipend on the days that we're in a committee or in the session. And so having volunteers help us read through bills, contact constituents is really vital. So I think that is one of the best ways a young man or woman can get involved, is to volunteer. Sometimes we can do paid internships. The other thing I do is I go to elementary school student councils and classes and speak about what I do. My own interest was rooted in elementary school. So there's a national Women in Government Institute that's nonpartisan at Rutgers University in New Jersey. They send us books every year to read. So I read those books online. I read them to kids. And then during COVID, I would do Zoom sessions with social studies classes in high school. So I think volunteering for a young person, and in some cases even getting a paid internship, are a vital step to cultivate and make your interest flourish.
Perfect.
Very good. And before you leave Joy, we got a very supportive man here. Thank you, ladies, for having such an important program on for everyone. And I'm 120% proud of my wonderful wife, Mr. Dale Garrett. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll reserve the other question all the way from Switzerland next, but this time we'll have our Honorable Christine Ellis to give us the next question, the answer.
Thank you so much. Well, this is a really great question. I love the fact that volunteerism was brought up by our House representative, because it is important for us to get involved in our community. I don't like complainers. I like people that will come forward with solutions. So every time that we need something done, we need people with solution ideas that can come to the table. But if there was a young lady or a young man at this moment who would sit down one-on-one with me like we're doing right now and said, what can I do to elevate myself or get in a place, I will tell them, mind your own business so you may be successful in your business. And they will look at me like, what do you mean by that? And I will say, well, the emphasis right now is on the word mind. The M stands for meaningful relationships. And you can't have those without being in your community, without being involved into what's going on, helping, volunteering, and being in places where you need to be. Anytime you hear something, get involved. And then the I stand for inquire about new knowledge. Be inquisitive about what's going on. Study the bills. Get to read about something. Ask questions so that people can really tell you what's going on. Come up to the plate. Find someone. Attach yourself. Get a mentor. Acquire new knowledge is important. And the N is no fear. No fear. You should not have any fear about going forward, because at this point, the spirit of fear will stop you. It will just tell you. I mean, anything can stop you right now thinking, well, I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not the right color. Maybe I don't have the right color hair. I don't have the right this. I don't have, my family don't have this. I'm not from a big group and things like that. But I will encourage you today, don't think on those things. Pass those things, put them behind you, and look into the future, because there is someone somewhere that was appointed just for you to give you a break. So keep searching until you find that person. So no fear. And the D will stand for develop new strategies, because what you've done before didn't work. You've been complaining. You've been asking, where can I go? What can I do? In your school, you hear problems, but you just hear other students keep talking about the same problem, but nobody is doing anything. We did not get anywhere. The representative and I, we did not get where we are right now sitting at this table by just sitting around and talking about the issue. You heard her said, somebody didn't have my back. Now it's time for me to have my own back. So she jumped in. So it's time for us to start doing that. Develop new strategies. Says, what I did yesterday didn't work. I'm going to do something different every single day until I found my groove, until I find what's working, and then I'm going to pursue it, and then I'm going to achieve it. So those are the things that I will leave them with. Mind your own business so you can be successful in your business.
Amen. Very, very
Love it.
inspirational. Love it. Now I will keep that mind your own business. And while our New Mexico state representative was sharing our beautiful sister Ethel Losario Smith, who is a very #1 in service and volunteering here in Arizona, just mentioned, I fully agree with you, Representative Joy, that first thing one needs to do is by volunteering. They can learn the issues affecting the community because they're fully involved. And even Mr. Gratitude says that volunteering is not only good for our spiritual life, it's also good for our health. Thank you for such beautiful program. Good job. And do you have Dr. Linda, would you like to ask this question? Our Miss Pamela Gotanko Hap, all the way from Switzerland, have asked. Dr. Linda?
Oh, actually, there's a part 2 to the first question that I wanted to finish. So I really do feel a lot was already answered, but in terms of having the inspiration from President Kennedy and also the support that you needed from your family and community, And I do feel like you've answered so much of the questions that we've already had in our, that I had in mind actually. But what are the biggest successes that you've had since you've entered into your office? So
Okay.
I'd like to ask that question.
I will reserve this question of Pamela Gotangkohap in the next question. So who can answer first this question of Dr. Linda?
I can start. I'm an educator by trade. I just recently retired. So one of my biggest successes was a bill called Grow Your Own Teacher Act. And many of our states have a shortage of teachers in the pipeline. But Grow Your Own Teachers, what I love about it is an educational assistant or an instructional aide or even an office person who's worked with kids for 2 years can get a scholarship to get their certification as a teacher because their salaries are the lowest and they don't have enough money to go to school. The other thing is something that Dr. Linda brought up. We really need native language speakers from Spanish, Tiwa, Navajo, all these languages. We need teachers that can be in the classroom and do the programs to revitalize these languages. Many of our educational assistants come from the local communities. They don't have a lot of money, but they're native speakers of the diverse languages, especially New Mexico, but also Arizona. And so this act, that was actually my baby bill and legislation, graduate education as a new legislator, that's what I'm most proud of, actually. And then most recently, 8 women legislators, all first and second term legislators, we passed Connect New Mexico to bring broadband to every corner of our state because women, first of all, students, COVID made us see the lack of broadband and the problems, but so many women, both of our states, small business is one of the #1 areas of economic development. If you don't have broadband, you can't develop your business, your market, for telehealth, for government interaction, for so many things. We have to have high-speed, accessible, low-cost internet. So that is that Grow Your Own Teachers and the broadband bill are 2 of my proudest accomplishments, which I have to continue to work on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
This is amazing. I love it. I love the fact that someone said earlier that we have so many things in common. I'm sitting here also as a teacher, and I'm actually still in the community because in the medical field, I teach the entrance level for the nursing programs, and then currently I'm still really at the state level helping to proctor some of the students that are coming in because we're putting out employees, our caregivers and managers into our communities to serve and to take care of our elderly people. Every single day we're doing that. This is great. I mean, I just started. This is my first term and my first year. Last month was my first year. So I am basically really, truly looking at things. And what I'm being told is that I'm being very effective. And I'm a collaborator, and I'm a good listener, and I'm hearing that right now the ideas that I have started with, which I run on, and I have my hands in every area of them. The education part, I'm working with the schools for broadband, getting them what they need. There is a bond that's coming up right now where they're going to get needing more money to continue their things. And we are, as a council, we are all going to push that forward. At the same time, we are also pushing our own bond for the city of Chandler. That is really important to me, that the school get what they need for the teachers and things. We just did a back to school. We do that every year where we serve 3,000 students with uniform, backpacks, shoes. And I was able to, through council, put an extra $10,000 for us to get more shoes, and not just shoes. I mean, brand new name shoes, Nike, all kinds of type things for the kids. For them. So I'm very, very happy for that. And reaching our neighborhoods, that's another area that I really wanted to really work with police to make sure that they get the education that they needed, because my background is in mental health, and I'm very concerned with with our homeless population, where 85% of them have some type of mental health issues. And when the police, they interact with the police, and they are trained really truly to do the work that they're supposed to do, but then they are not social workers. They don't have those kind of background. So I'm working on something right now with our city manager and our chief of police to organize and bring working on, we already have a court for homeless court going on, mental health court. So now we're adding more things. I was part of initiative for us to add more people in the community. When the police get a call, instead of them going, we send a navigator, and the navigator started to work with them first, and then the police stand by just for help if they need it, to redirect that person or take them into program. So I'm very proud of those things. And then I am right there as a businesswoman. I'm right there with the business, small business, big business. We just had Intel Corporation put in $21 billion in our city, continuing to open and expand and those kinds of things. So we are here working with SRP, working with so many different places. But one thing that really I'm so proud of is that the diversity that our city right now is well aware of, the awareness of diversity that we all need to be at the table, the women, the men, the women of color, the men of color, and all of us coming to the table, and our friends and our family members, all of us getting our hands together. So I've been able to put some more money. They had a budget of 25,000, and now I think we are sitting at 75,000. So my goal is for them to get up to $250,000 a year, so that we can go in our community, educate, empower others, and then do classes. And I love bringing kids to City Hall. I love when the Girl Scouts comes. I bring them in. They looked at me like, "Whoa, I made them sit down in my chair so that they understand that this is a place where you can visualize yourself into and obtain it, because you are just who you are. That's all."
Awesome.
Thank
I
you
love that.
so much, the Honorable Christine Ellis, for that beautiful answer, and our New Mexico representative. So Glenn, would you be able to read and ask this question of our Miss Pamela Gotanko-Hap?
Okay, so Pamela is saying, I really admire women politicians. I'm not an American, but I wanted to ask your distinguished women leaders a question. What do you think are some of the qualities of women politicians that makes for a better politician? So what are some of the qualities women should have in order to be a very good politician?
I mean, in my case, I will tell her point blank, I think you just need to have a great desire to serve, and a heart for others, because everything I do, it stems from there, from that place for me. Because if I don't think that it's going to affect someone, my main goal in life is that anytime I encounter someone, I never leave that person without being changed, and all have changed that person for the better. So this is my goal in life, and I've always done that. And I thrive to finish well in everything, in every situation that I'm in, whether I'm gonna lose, or whether I feel that I'm gonna lose, or whether I feel that I was not treated well, whatever the situation, I thrive to finish well. And I think as women politicians, we need to come to the table with those things in mind. It's not about who's gonna win. It's not about which party we part of, but it's the people that we are serving. Is this moment and this time a place where I need to stand strong on my conviction and don't move from there and make sure that we push through? Or is this the place where I can make room for us to have more of a conversation and see how we can move this thing forward? So I love it when women come to the table with an open mind to serve others and see their quality of life improve.
Wow, that was amazing answer. Thank you so much, Christine. Wonderful.
Yes.
Joy, what do you think?
Kind of one of my life things is to look at each individual as a child of God. And that's really hard when you get attacked. Some of my legislation has been not accepted by certain people. And so I've even had to have a security guard escort me to my car. And it's easy to love people that love and adore you. But when you have, I serve more than 40,000 people in my district, and they're very diverse in their views and opinions. And so my daily challenge is to listen to the other, to listen and seek the voices of people who haven't had a voice. And as I get emails and phone calls and visits from people that don't have the same views as me, to really listen sincerely, not to give my answer, but to really consider what they have to say. At the same time, you have to be, once you decide, a big question is, who do you listen to? Do you listen to your constituents? Who do you listen to when you vote? And my first place has to be my conscience. So as a woman in public office, you have to be clear what your moral points are that you don't ever change.
Right.
At the same time, you need to listen, acknowledge people, acknowledge that people have different views, listen to them. And it's really easy. I'm a snarky person sometimes. I really have to watch out not to be snarky, or if I'm snarky, write it down on a piece of paper and throw it away. And then the other thing is humility. As I'm serving the public, I have to have humility and gratitude to the people who put me here. So, and yet have confidence within that humility, but listening and really viewing at diverse people through the eyes of heart, through the eyes of God, is kind of my bottom line.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Love it.
Thank you so much,
Wonderful.
Representative Joy Garrett, for that beautiful answer. And I know, Glenda, there is another question that is being asked by our very own President Angelica Selly of U.S. Women's Federation for World Peace, USA President. Would you be kind to ask this question next?
Okay, ladies, another one, a very good one. What is your experience as women leaders in politics with regards to the glass ceiling in your positions? That's a really good one.
Who would answer this one first?
I will start with this one since I had to break a really big one. I truly did not came out that way, but at the end of the day, when I said yes to this, it dawned on me right after that I was going to be the first Black woman to be in this position in a city of over 100 years old. And so here I was. I had to really think that, how am I going to position myself and how am I going to really leave this legacy? It was not even how I'm going to run, but how I was going to leave the legacy to make sure. So to really tell you, the only way I did it, I had to go within. I had to go within myself and said, truly, who are you? Who are you? And it was like, every day I am the daughter of the Most High. I am who He says that I am. I will be who He says that He'll be. His promises are true in my life. And so every time I was telling myself that, I feel stronger from within. And then it shows into my face. Even days, somebody tried to run me off the road one day when I was running, and they said I was not going to win. They come after me in different ways and fashion. But every time I felt that I needed to go within. And when I went within, oh my God, there was a warrior, there was a lioness who was saying that, get out of my way or be run over. And so at that point, that is the place for me. That's exactly how I did it. I kept going within. And every time I come back out, I was stronger for the better.
Oh,
Thank you
wonderful.
so much,
Yeah. Really
for
good.
that beautiful
Go
question.
within. Go
How
within.
From President Angelica Selly. How about our sister Joy Garrett to answer that question? Oops. Unmute.
I'm the first woman to win my seat, and with my class incoming 2018, we're the first class that made a majority of women in our state house. But I'll tell you something funny. There's a couple of men in the state house. We have a policy where when you call on someone, you address them as, will the gentleman or the gentle lady yield the floor so I can express my opinion? And you don't use the name, but to keep it civil, that's what you do. Well, there were some gentlemen, and they weren't much older than me, and they'd say stuff like, will the little lady, will the young lady yield? And we finally had kind of a come to Jesus moment with those gentlemen saying, you know, I'm not the little lady, I'm not the young lady, I'm probably older than you. You will address me as the gentle woman. In our state, as in Arizona, we've both had we've had Republican and Democrat governors who are women. And I will have to say, one of my proudest moments is helping first elect Deb Haaland to Congress, and she is the first Native American Secretary of Interior. And so to me, that is my little part in breaking that glass ceiling, the first Native American to actually be governing the tribes. I'm just so proud to see people in the cabinet that are breaking through those glass ceilings. One moment she's in my living room helping me get elected, and then, you know, the next moment she's touring the country, bringing such incredible pride and capacity to listen to our Native American brothers and sisters throughout this state, throughout this country.
Wow.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much. I know that everybody has so much and many more questions in their mind, and the time is too short for this conversation, Glenn. And then we wanted to at this time of our program, I wanted to give also a huge shout out to our brothers and sisters in Haiti, because that is one of the things that touched me, not only because of your leadership, but also wanting to bring into people's mind what is happening in Haiti right now. Glenn and Dr. Linda, my sister Christine Ellis, would you be kind to share what is going on in Haiti right now? I think being in the position of leadership, we can also, that this is one of the good things when you have in the leadership position, then we can also help our people that are hurting, and that's at this time is Haiti. I give you the opportunity to share with us what's going on in Haiti.
Well, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate the fact that I'm sitting here as a Haitian American woman, and it's important for people to know that that's where I came from. This is where really I left Haiti when I was 17 years old. My dad immigrated here in the United States in the 1970s, and it is important for us to also realize that there is another world outside of where we are, where we live. I've had an opportunity to travel different places, but Haiti is a place where I was born, and it will always have a place in my heart that only going there can feel. At this time, I know the world really truly mourn with us because of what's been happening to Haiti in the last few decades. It's been one thing truly after another. We just, in July, we just had our president assassinated. And then right after that, in August, we just have this another 7.2 earthquake. And then now we just had another hurricane, not even a week, a few days later, went right into the same area where the earthquake hit. We are up almost to 3,000 people that died already. One way we can say we thank God because the earthquake happened more in the rural areas of that part of Haiti versus where it happened before in 2010, where we had 375,000 people die. And then at this point, it is very really dire in the east side. We have lots of organizations that are on the ground right now. But what we are asking is for prayers, first of all, because we know that prayer changes things. We want our leaders in Haiti, those who are leading Haiti right now, to really consciously look at where can we go from here, because I don't think we can go back to the same thing that we used to do. And then it's time. And then for the people of the world who are embracing Haiti right now, I know there are a lot of people that don't feel fatigued. They feel that the churches, the organizations that have been in Haiti over and over again, and then they realize that they never can go any further than where they want to go. I will say that please, give yourself a second win and come at it again, because this time I truly believe that we can accomplish something greater. And for those in the past who have come to Haiti and instead of helping the people, they have enriched themselves and then left the country worse than they found it, I will say that please look within yourself right now and see that the assignment that you were given to help a people, and because you did not do it, look where they are right now. Are you able truly to sleep at night? Are you able truly to sit and look at your family member and be proud of who they are when you couldn't do that for somebody else? And so those are the three things that I'm able to say right now. And I want to thank the Women Federation for doing right now. I think they're doing a rally, and they're also doing some raising fund for donation. As a group of Haitian American elected officials, we stand. There are about over 200 of us, 67 of us still sitting right now, and then those who were in seats prior, and then we have a lot of judges. We are sitting right now to ask people to really be mindful and be vigilant, because we are watching this time. What happened in 2010, we will not allow it to happen again to our brothers and sisters in Haiti. If you said you're going to help, if you receive the American dollars or from all over the world, wherever you are, if the people, your constituents have trusted you and given you money to go help a people, you need to do that, and you need to do it well so that you can leave a legacy for your name, not something that will trash you, but something that will elevate you and your people. Well, thank you for letting me talk about Haiti a little bit. Please continue to pray, and those who can donate, please donate, and those who can go to help, please go to help. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, our sister Christine Ellis. And this time, I know that Women's Federation for World Peace is doing also a fundraising to help Haiti at this time, right, Glenn? And
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes,
So-
we are, and I'm hoping that the donation organizations will be up on the screen right now, because our dear president, we're always actually responding to the emergency. Our vision statement is women working together to establish a culture of heart in the family, community, nation, and world in order to achieve genuine and sustainable peace under God. And that comes from what we've been saying over and over and over. Live for the sake of others. Volunteer. Do it from your heart. And we do have a letter that was written by the president of USA, President Saleh, to help Haiti at this time. So those will go up on the comment section for donations. If that could be put up on the comments, is that up right now?
It is there, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So please give generously. And I want to thank also Honorable Christine Ellis for your work as the co-founder for the Haitian Disaster Relief of Arizona, in collaboration with other organizations that you are responding as well. So thank you so much for that information.
Wow.
But we thank you, and I personally can attest that when Philippines and Haiti are almost in the same situation. We always get the disaster and we ask for relief. When my country was affected by the 2 typhoons in less than 2 weeks, my beautiful sister Christine Ellis did not hesitate, and in fact worked and immediately gave support to Philippines at that time, and through the Women's Federation for World Peace initiative also to gain funds to send to Philippines. She did not hesitate to offer her help. And so, and on behalf of the Women's Federation for World Peace here in Arizona, and also as a Filipino, we would love to support the Women's Federation for World Peace Arizona. And in behalf of the Filipino community, we wanted to support Haiti at this time. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we continue to support the Philippines. I work with Nola Latinovich. She just came back. We sent lots of school supplies and different things. And because of through the city, I had received, and some of the things that I have personally gathered myself, we sent her with, and she was able to touch about 350 kids over there with school supplies for back to school. So we thank God for that.
Oh, thank you so much, Honorable Christine Ellis, and our President Angelica Selly just mentioned. Thank you for such a rich, educational, and edifying and hopeful session, and excellent answers and comments. They make for nuggets of wisdom for how to textbook for many women. Thank you, Honorable Ellis and Honorable Garrett, for your comments. And yes, we will continue to pray for Haiti. Yeah, coming from our President Angelica Selly of Women's Federation for World Peace USA. And another one we need to thank is Miss Nisha Slater, who was, she created our beautiful flyer, right, Glenn?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
We're extremely grateful for Nisha Slater, and she did an incredible job making a beautiful flyer. And I hope she will continue working with us. We would love to have her. Thank you,
Yes.
Nisha.
And as you mentioned, President Dr. Linda earlier, this is just the beginning of the many series of this golden age of women in politics. And I believe it's not just women in politics that we can mention here. There are many ways women are now in such a golden age. And right, in fact, our own Women's Federation for World Peace International, and the founder of the Women's Federation for World Peace, Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon, and her late husband, Reverend Sun Myung Moon, are especially Reverend Moon. I really respect and honor him for visualizing that the realization of a world of peace will come about when more women will come into the in power and in politics. So I think that's where this idea came from, right, Dr. Linda?
Yes, this is where the idea came from. And I feel like, we are totally united with the founders of Women's Federation for Peace and wanting this to be continuation of a series. But absolutely, this was the number one, first one, very successful, very exciting. And
Yeah.
I'm sure many young women will see this podcast on Yardstream and want to contact both Honorable Joy Garrett and Honorable Christine Ellis to see how we can help even more, how we can do more. And my heart was moved by participation, and also being the co-host with this wonderful Buhay Buhay America and Women's Federation for World Peace, Global Women Peace Network. Thank you all for your participation. And now there's time for closings.
Yes. Glenn, do you have anything to share? The last word? And
Oh, I am so impressed with this whole, event, and I just want to share hope and inspiration, and that we can all work to co-creating a beautiful world. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. We want to create this beautiful environment for our families, for our nation, for our world. And I feel so empowered now. Just listen to these two honorable ladies. I'm so impressed with their work. And I'm so grateful that they were willing to be here with us and hear the incredible stories. Thank you so much. And I really, really, I don't know what to say. I'm so happy.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. How about our our New Mexico State Representative Joy Garrett, who's also running for 2022 again. So let's give us your last word to
Just-
inspire us.
I want to thank you for everybody in Women's Federation across the world and Arizona, everybody who's here from any place in the States. Just thank you and go forth. You make a difference. You matter. Every single little thing builds up to the big positive change. So thank you for all that you do. And thanks for having me today.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Joy.
much. And my councilwoman of Chandler, Arizona, Christine Ellis.
I thank you so much again for having me. And I think now I have to really continue to push through because I have the House representative to look up to and keep pushing forward with. And I'll do my best to continue to follow in her footsteps and understand the things that she spoke of today are things truly closer to my heart. And I will definitely take them on heart and pushing through. I do have my email into the chat for those who would like to reach out. Here in Chandler, we thrive to really, we say we live here, we work here, and we play here. So we'd love to have you come and visit us one day, House Representative Garrett, to really come with your husband. And I think you will want to move here because you will love it here in Chandler. So at least give us 1 week, a year to come and visit us and spend some time with us. And to the rest of you ladies, what a wonderful time. Great job. Our narrators were wonderful. We really love spending time with you. Let's do this again, ladies. Let's do it
Awesome.
again. Let's
Definitely.
do it again.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Yes,
Thank you
awesome.
so much. Thank you so much to all of you for joining. It is such a great honor that the Women's Federation for World Peace and the Global Women's Peace Network grace us with this wonderful message. The golden age of women in politics, and not just in politics, it is coming to all careers of women nowadays. So, on behalf of Glenda and Dr. Linda Nishikawa, and with our guests, New Mexico State Representative Joy Garrett, and my beautiful sister, Councilwoman of Chandler, Arizona, Christine Ellis, we thank you for joining us today. And please join us again for the next Golden Age of Women in Politics, next episode and series. Thank you so much for
Love
joining
you all.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.